What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to a brand new Football Manager 2017 video today. It's the first episode in my beta save that's going to be with Tottenham Hotspur. Now, as you can see, this is the first screen that you will get when you first load up Football Manager. There'll be a few other ones, but I've already loaded it up. But when you actually start a new save, this is what you will be greeted with. So you put all your information in and so on. You can also say whether you want to handle, certain responsibilities yourself and training and so on. I've not really looked into this too much as I just want to start the game itself. You can also link your social networks, which is pretty cool. I think they've had that in the past as well. Anyway, you go through to the appearance, which is obviously what a lot of people have really been focusing on. I've not really done this yet, so I will just change this for, myself. I'm not going to add my game face, but I'll come back once I've done this. Okay, so I have edited my manager. As I said, it's nothing like me really, to be honest, but I just went with that. I'll update this when we get to it, but for the first time in the game, we do actually have my date of birth. Obviously, each year, it gets more and more young that you can get, or, it gets to that age, and I am eventually able to be 19 in the game, which is pretty cool. Now, obviously, we've seen all this before. You can get, different types of, managerial styles. I might go with motivator or I might go with tactician. How do I get rid of this? There we go. Let's get rid of all this. Let's just close all this. I don't need all that, to be honest. Right. I've just gone tactical, haven't I? Which is obviously pretty decent. That looks actually alright, to be fair. I don't know if there's too much that I really need to change. Maybe I'll drop... No, I'll go with that. I'll go with that, to be fair. We shall go confirm. I think I've already chose Tottenham. Yeah, so as you can see, I've already chose Tottenham. So I'll just type in Spurs. There we go. And we have saved the game. Let's just jump forward a few more minutes and see what budgets we get and so on. Okay, so we are now in the game. As you can see, Tottenham hired Jarve FC as manager. White Hart Lane, blah, blah, blah. What I'm going to do in just a moment is I'm going to get the logos involved, which hopefully will work first time of asking. Got the meetings there to attend. We've got our transfer updates. Nothing too significant there. Few injuries. Actually, there's no injuries whatsoever. And then responsibilities are all handled by me. I'll take a look at that in just a moment. But let's just... What should we do first? Should we try and get the logos? Okay, so for whatever reason, the logos aren't actually loading. So that will be something I'll fix, hopefully for the next episode. But let's go and attend these meetings anyway. So obviously... You have the meeting with the chairman and so on. Daniel Levy, that is correct. We will go attend meeting. Great, let's get started. That's the only option I can give. So, just go through these. Sounds like a great idea. I think it's pretty much the same as last year. Play possession football, play attacking football, sign young players for the first team and develop players using the youth system. That's perfectly fine. I'm happy with them. Do you want to have a press conference? Yes, I do. And thank you very much. Right, let's see. I've got some blah, blah, blah policies. Do you want a friendly within the squad? Yes, I do. That's set up. Also a written report. Yeah, go on. I know a bit about Tottenham, but I don't know loads, to be fair. Would you like to arrange a meeting with the rest of your staff? Yes. And then is there anything else I can help you with? No. So that is the meetings done. I've obviously just then got the staff meeting to have a look at. But let's go and take a look at our transfer budget. To start off with, it's £50 million with £356,000 per week wage budget, which is impressive, to be fair. Let's go and get a look at the tactics. That's the formation I'll be playing, obviously, as you do set your favourite formation pre-game. Let's just see if any of this has changed. This looks pretty similar to me. I don't think there's too much change there. So let's actually just get our players involved, get the players into this squad, and then we can start messing around with what we're actually going to do. I'll go with Kyle Walker at right back. I'll go with Rose at left back. Obviously, as I said, I'm not the biggest, I've not got the most knowledge of Tottenham. So if there is any Tottenham fans out there, let me know if you would change anything in this. Shall I go with Wanyama or Eric Dyer as the defensive mid? I'll go with Wanyama, and then I'll switch them around if I need to. Then I'll have Dyer in there. Who else shall I go with? I'll go with Dele Alli as his centre mid partner. This is where it gets interesting. I'll go with Christian Eriksen out on the right. Tottenham have got quite a decent team, to be fair. A lot of decent players. Let's actually get this on the go. Let's go insert column and go with... What should we go with? Is it transfer? Or is it scouting? Something like that. Ability. There it was. It's disappeared though. Let's go back to... Where was it? Was it scouting? It was scouting, wasn't it? And ability. So we can sort these players by ability. Who's not involved? Harry Kane's obviously going to be involved. And then it's saying Son Heung-min. I was thinking either him, Eric Lamela, or Moussa Dembele, but I am going to go with Son. So they are the players we are going to go with. Now let's just get these guys into suitable, roles within the system. Let's see, ball playing defender. That is what I like to see. I like to see, yep, there we go, 2 ball playing defenders. And we can have our wing backs set to, I'll keep 1 on automatic and 1 on attack. Wanyama is a ball winning midfielder, which suits what I want to do quite nicely. And Eric Dyer is actually a ball winning midfielder as well. Maybe I'll have to look into that, maybe switch one of them up, or maybe it might work like that. Dele Alli is obviously an advanced playmaker. He likes to get involved going forward. I'll come back to Son on that right hand side. I was going to say left-hand side. I do know my left and rights. Harry Kane, a target man. I don't really like playing target man, so I'll go with an advanced forward. Christian Eriksen, inside forward or advanced playmaker. He's more of an advanced playmaker, isn't he? And then Son, I'll go with the inside forward for now, but I may have to look into that. Who else can play out there? So you've got Lamela, and you've also got Sissoko. There's no actual difference in ability between them two, so Lamela actually suits it more. So that's probably what I'll go with for now. And ideally, we would probably want a winger out here and figure something out going back, with Eriksen. Because we do need Eriksen in this squad. So that's the team we're going to go with. We shall go with quite fluid. I think Spurs play quite a fluid game, don't they? Pressing, where's pressing? Closing down is there. Spurs obviously close down a lot. They have a much higher tempo. I'm going to go with what Liverpool do. They play out of defence quite a bit. Let's see what else we can go for. I'll look for the overlap because obviously our wing-backs are obviously going to get forward quite a bit, to be fair. What else shall I go for? I'll just leave it at that for now, and I'll come back to it in a bit. Actually, there's probably a few more I can put on there, can't I? Let's just see. Do we want to retain possession? We don't really, do we? I don't know if there is actually anything else that can really change. I don't want a high defensive line, but I don't want a deep one either because it sometimes depends on how the team's actually playing. So I will leave it at that for now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get them to quick pick the subs. How do we do that? Pick without restriction, unpicked positions. There we go. So we've got our subs, which is perfectly fine. I'm happy with the subs. Let's just see if there's any under 23s that should be in the first team. So Michel Vorm, obviously straight away, should be in the first team. So I'll move him to the senior squad. Is there anyone else really that's going to take note right now? I don't think there is. There may be. Just let me know in the comments below as I'm just trying to get through this quite fast. But just let me know if there is someone. So looking at the team, I'm just going to actually go to squad. Yeah, is it squad? No, it's team report, isn't it? I want to see the squad depth, so then I kind of know what, players to maybe sign. Let me know in the comments as well if you've got any suggestions for players to sign. I'm looking at this straight away. I don't think any of our defence really needs, anything doing to it. It looks pretty solid. So does the centre mid. It's actually saying play Moussa Dembele, which was something I was actually considering anyway. Potentially drop Victor Wanyama, drop Eric Dyer into the defensive mid spot and play Moussa Dembele. It's actually saying play Eric Lamela on both wings, which is obviously something we can't do, and Harry Kane up front. So maybe look for a winger. That's probably the only thing I'm really looking for right now is a winger. And I'm just going to go back to the tactics for now, and I'm actually going to drop Wanyama as it said. Whereabouts is he? Who was I even going to put in? It's Moussa Dembele, isn't it? So I'll move Dembele into there. What can he play as? He can play as a box-to-box, right? That suits me a lot better now because then I've not got the 2 ball-winning midfielders. That's a lot better. So, as I said, we probably need a left midfielder, which is quite harsh, or a right. I'm not too sure. As I want to play Eriksen. Eriksen is a very, very decent player. We all know that. But let's just go and take a look at some potential signings we can make anyway. Okay, so we're going to take a look at some of our transfer options. I'll go position, and I'm going to go for left midfield, the attacking left. We've obviously got quite a hefty transfer budget, and if we're only going to be making one signing, then we can bump this up to around 60, maybe just a bit less than 60 actually. Let's say I get that back down. Yeah, that's probably about right. 54 million is pretty fair. And one thing I've noticed, player transfer prices are actually pretty high this season. I mean, you're looking at like 30 million for Jesse Lingard. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I'd expect to pay a bit less for him. Now, one player that automatically draws my attention is Julian Draxler. I'm going to get a scout report on him. It's not been that long since I played Football Manager. Come on, I know how to play this game. Get scout report. There we go. I don't want to see that message again because it annoys me every time I do. Right, who else can I scout? I'm just looking down the list. I'm going to get age on here as well. There's so many things you need to add into the game when you first load it up. It does kind of do me head in. By the way, guys, I'm not going to be playing a game in this episode, so if you are here to watch a match, that will be in the next episode where I'll do all the preseason. I'm just literally getting settled down and just showing you Football Manager as a first glance when you first load it up. Who can I look for? I like to go a bit down the list. Gerard Deulofeu for only 13.25 million could be an interesting option. He usually develops quite well on Football Manager, so maybe he could be an option just to look at. Obviously, we won't be able to get Barbosa as you usually do, because he's obviously moved to, who is it? It's Inter Milan, isn't it? So Barbosa is kind of out of the question. I'm not going to lie, Coutinho is interesting me. Obviously, he's valued at £35 million, which is going to be high, because then you're probably looking at 60 million for him on Football Manager, but he does, bring of interest. He does bring my interest to him. I'm going to also scout that guy. He is pretty decent. I just can't say his name. That's why I'm calling that guy. You'll get the gist of things that I cannot pronounce many people's names. I probably can. I just don't like to do it because then I look stupid if I get it wrong. Let's see who else I can potentially take a look at here. To be fair, I thought there'd be a few more options available to us. There probably is. I'm just probably missing them, to be honest. Let's just scroll back up. I'm very, very picky in the players I do sign. You'll notice that over the course of the next year. And if you've ever seen any of my FM16 videos, you'll notice I am a very picky person. Raheem Sterling, I don't think he would join us, but he is a person that I would sign if I did have the opportunity. You're kind of noticing as well, I do tend to go for players under the age of 25, 24, around that mark. I never really tend to go over that, to be perfectly honest with you guys. Is there anyone else? Having said that, I'm saying that and I've got like loads of old people here. Not old, but you get what I'm trying to say. I'm going to go maximum age 24. So that gets rid of a lot of players that I wasn't really even looking at, to be honest, because the second I see their age, I don't really tend to pay too much attention past that. Memphis Depay is an interesting one. Jordan Ives obviously just recently moved, so he probably won't move on again. Is there anyone else? I don't think there is right now. Let me know in the comments below if you've got any suggestions as to who I should buy. I'm just going to check the right midfield side as well, because sometimes there's players that are, only suited to that side. So I will scout Berardi. Probably said that wrong, to be honest. I will scout him, though, because he tends to be a decent player in Football Manager. Is there anyone else here? I'm just literally skimming down the list. I don't think there is. I would scout Jordan Ibe, but as I said, he probably won't leave. He's recently joined Bournemouth. Let's see. That is pretty much that. I think I am tempted to scout Felipe Anderson. That's probably the only one left. I'm going to scout him. I'm going to scout Felipe Anderson. So if we go to our scouting, and we go to scouted. No, it's not scouted, is it? It's Q, is it? It's Q. There we go. They're the players that we are looking at. So obviously Julian Draxler, Gerard Deulofeu, Felipe Coutinho, Julian Brandt, I believe that's how you say his name, Raheem Sterling, Domenico Berardi, and Felipe Anderson. They are the players we are looking at. Let's go and do a few more things before we wrap up this episode. Okay, so training, I just want to see if this looks any different at the, at first glance it doesn't. I've got a few things up here. What's this saying? Whoa, start individual training. What's this? Oh, Danny Rose. Okay, so this is interesting. You can actually do individual training from here. I don't tend to read what they're saying because they'll just correct me if it ends up being wrong anyway. What have I done? I've just skipped past so many players. Harry Kane also. And that's set the intensity level. I'm not going to listen to that because I like to do my own general team training. I like to go tactical and high during pre-season. With quite a bit of match focus, to be honest, about that much. Potentially, actually, I'll stick it at that. It's usually when I get into the season, I actually like to go with match focus. Coaches-wise, how are we doing? I need to go to staff, actually, don't I? So we're a bit below average, so I'll also look to bring in some coaches, which obviously, again, you'll see in the next episode. This is literally, as I said, just starting up. This is literally a starting up episode. If I could call it that, I would, but I don't think it would be too interesting. People probably wouldn't know what I'm on about. But that seems to be pretty much everything I need to cover, really. I'll maybe do some player instructions, but I'll probably do that over the course of the next few episodes once I've, realised what the team's actually like. Let me go to fixtures here just a minute. Oh, I thought there was no friendlies, because when you go here, they're not showing up, to be fair, but obviously we do have friendlies. But that is where I'm going to leave this episode. We're going to be jumping into pre-season in the next one. Obviously, drop a like on the video if you are excited for this beta series. Also, comment below, mainly to do with the transfers you would like me to see, actually pull off. And also be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, goodbye.